And you are back on the Tortoise and Hare experience. Let me just say, a very special Tortoise and the Hare experience.
It is special.
It is our 1 year anniversary. Can you believe it?
I can't believe it. I'm shocked that it
thanks.
lasted this long. Nobody has thrown us off the air so far.
Now, you did bring some champagne.
I did.
I prematurely opened it.
Yeah,
because I was
you're
so
like
excited.
That.
The race, as long as I win,
See,
it doesn't matter.
There's wrongness in that. There's wrongness. That's my word of the day. Wrongness.
Wrongness. We'll see.
Wrongness.
We'll see. Well, like I said, we opened up the champagne, and I would like to do our first drink with you. Here you go. To you. Happy 1 year.
Woohoo! Where are your champagnes?
You can have some of mine. We will be talking with Heaven and Earth coming up. But before we do, we always start off the show with an experience. And who wants to go first? Do you want to go first with an experience, or you?
Well, this my experience this past couple of weeks has not been the greatest experience. So I'll probably start it off so you can lighten it up as we go.
Okay.
As some of our listeners know, I've been experiencing some health issues in my life. And this past week, I went through surgery. Went into the doctor on Friday, and on Wednesday, I was being operated on. So it was kind of shocking, and it was, it's like it just happened really fast, and that kind of, was a different experience for me. I wasn't used to having things done so quickly, and my daughter had just left town, and I was all alone. I was like, oh. So that was my experience. It was no fun.
You know what? I've been kind of dealing with no fun at all. I just had an experience. I have a new phone, as everyone could see. Brand new phone. My phone just died. I was walking around with a 3GS. And I was walking around with that for 4 years. So for 4 years, I had a 3GS. And it finally happened to where it finally, died. Mm-hmm. And in that process, I'm not a guy that likes to back up his data to his computer or anything like that.
You're like me. It's pretty bad.
Yeah, so the process of actually changing your phone. And on the commercials, they make it seem so easy. You walk into the store, and as soon as you walk in, within 3 minutes, everything is completely to the other phone, and you walk out as if nothing ever happened.
Right. It's a
no.
thing.
Yeah, no. That's not the... Let me tell you about the real way it works. You walk into the store, and then you're like, my phone's dying, and then they're just trying to get you to get the smartphone and then get the hell out and buy all the accessories, right? I'm like, well, my data, what about it? And they're like, all we're going to do is just transfer your contacts. I was like, yeah, but what about my apps that I paid for and, all my websites that I have saved? They're like, well, you're going to have to do that yourself. And I'm like, well, what about my photos? I had some really great photos. I took one of my goddaughters on her very first Dodger game, to her very first Dodger game, right?
That was a good day.
And the only photo I have is on the phone that, doesn't transfer because of the I'm about to get really geeky on everybody, on the 16-pin Apple system that they have. Now they moved to the 5-pin. Mm-hmm. So, after about 2 days, I finally got my life kind of back where it's at. I do not have some of those photos, so it's real weird technology. I'm not so much of a fan right now of it.
Well, you have to keep up on these things. That's a hard thing to do when you're very busy like you are.
If there's one thing I could say is everybody back up your data to your computer and then back that up to a backup, because your computer might fry, and you just never know with your cell phones. Guys, would you guys like to share an experience that you guys have had?
You got the iCloud now, so you just back up to that.
Yeah, the iCloud takes care of everything.
Yeah. You know what?
Yeah, I didn't do that before either.
I said that. I said, well, what about the iCloud? And they're like, oh, it just has your contacts. I was like, I thought it had all the apps, everything, and it didn't.
You have to tell the phone what you want to back up to the iCloud. You can back up everything on the phone: contacts, photos, pornos, whatever.
And you do that a lot?
What Chuck does.
Yep.
Yeah, right.
You don't? No, you're like me, where it's like you get to it when you get to it, you don't even want to get to it. Is that the way it works?
No, I back up. I do, honestly, yeah.
Okay. I'm the not cool guy. I guess that's the way this is going.
So let's introduce our guests right here.
We have guests. Hello.
We have guests on the couch.
Yeah, Heaven and Earth, they're here, and we just heard their song, I Don't Know What Love Is. We'll get to that in a second.
Right.
But let me give out a plug for you guys. Visit them, heavenandearthband.com. That is where you can find them at. I got to check out your video for that, and I loved it. And earlier we were talking, and we were outside, and this is what I hate when guests come over, and I start chatting them up, and I'm just like, I can't talk to you guys, because the moment we start chatting, we're gonna miss it. We're gonna miss that magic moment. But I was saying that we were talking about video and video editing. And I was saying that how much of a person I am when I like realism. I was saying that I'm tired of bands just doing the whole green screen thing. And I was like, that wasn't on green screen because the set looks so epic and it looks so real. I could taste it, especially the fog. That to me, you can't CGI that. That was true fog.
Well, we actually flew the band to Mars.
That's right.
And we had the crew. Everyone had to hold their breath, run out of the spaceship, set up the equipment, run back in, and then we had to come. We could do it for about a minute and sing, and then we had to run back.
It's not real cost effective.
Yeah, it's very expensive.
Well, you guys are a pretty expensive band,
Wow.
You guys do everything big.
We're trying to keep everything first class as we can, yes.
Yeah.
Well, you're classy guys.
From the artwork to everything, the performance of the band to everything.
Well, I would love to talk about the artwork.
Okay.
Of your new album, Dig, which is out now. I saw it, and this is what it reminded me of. It reminded me of Indiana Jones. That circa and a big archaeological site.
Oh yeah, okay.
You know what I mean? And I really like is the guitar, is that a ship or is that a guitar? To me, it represented a ship.
It's both. It's a spaceship and a guitar.
Love the concept of that. Tell me about that.
Yeah, the original idea was to have, like Indiana Jones, the guitar falling off and rolling down a hill and running over Chuck. But
Okay.
No, we didn't do that. Very funny. Actually, the concept was Glenn Wexler, who's worked with Van Halen and Michael Jackson and a whole list of people. He's been a friend of mine since the late 70s. And when we were talking about doing art, I'm actually a graphic designer. I said, let's get the very best in the business. Come on. So Glenn came along and he had different concepts and ideas, and we honed in on this one. And it kind of represents resurrecting real rock to us,
Yeah.
Which is what we tried to do with the record. We went back to a 70s kind of vibe, and we wanted the album cover to reflect that as well.
What I really liked, and maybe you can shed some insight on this, and I'm getting way far ahead of everybody right now, but it seemed that you guys are bringing back the power ballad. And to me, it was gone for so long. And for you guys to just bring it back, tell me about going in and doing that. Or am I just overlooking this? Or?
No, I mean, that's one facet of what the album is. That's definitely is a power ballad. And that was actually brought forth, Stuart brought that in, the lyric idea and the chord changes and things, and then Joe and him honed it out, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's we didn't sit down and say, well, we want to write a ballad. I mean, everything, if you're familiar with the other Heaven and Earth albums, we've always had this sort of very eclectic mix variation, which I love from bands from the 70s. I mean, you get Zeppelin would do a blues song, a hard rock song, a popish song, even a reggae song, and Deep Purple, like on Fireball, would do a country and western song. Jethro Tull was a prime example as well. And I love that diversity in music, and it's just sadly not there anymore. So I always like to put it in, and it's funny enough, it all works. And this was just the ballad was just Joe was away on vacation. I'd had the title for about 25 years, something like that. Joe was our singer was away on vacation, and I thought, I'm not going to pick up the electric until I've wrote something that is sort of like an acoustic song. And so I sat there for like 3 weeks, and just about 2 days before he came back, it just came together. And I said, all right, he arrived. I said, all right, here's the music. It's called I Don't Know What Love Is Anymore, which everyone felt was a bit long, and go away. And he disappeared in his room for like a week and came out, and bang, there it was.
Nice. He has an amazing voice.
Yeah.
I was blessed enough to go to your listening party, and what an epic party this was. There was people for miles down the street. It was incredible. There were guys on stilts.
Yeah, characters from the video, from our first
It
video.
was really cool. Really cool.
Thanks.
And it was like everybody in town, all of the great rockers that have come through Los Angeles were all there.
Yeah, because it was free booze.
Well,
bunch of free
Gotta get
is
'em.
what they are.
Yeah.
no, but it was like a homecoming.
It was a pretty
everybody.
epic
It was really
night for
cool.
everybody involved, I think.
Yeah, and Delana
and-
opened the
and-
show.
Yeah, Delana
She was
opened. It's our first
fantastic.
performance,
Yeah.
alive in front of a crowd like that, and
We got to really hand the credit for Chuck for that, because he's the one, we call him P.T. Barnum now, because he organised the whole thing, like the
Yeah.
still walkers, the fire.
the little person giving out coins for
I
free
love
drinks,
that. That was
the
so
jugglers. I actually had. I was trying to think of an idea for an MC for the event, and I contacted a couple magician friends of mine, and they weren't available. And I go, I got to come up with something cool, something. I go, oh yeah, the man in the moon. So what we had was this big ball, a huge white ball on stage with a projection of the guy off stage, and he was the man in the moon, and would do all the announcing and the MC the thing. And I even wrote a script for him.
Yeah, I didn't see any of that.
Man in the moon, man in the moon, man in the
I
moon.
didn't see any
No?
of that. No, but
Sorry about that.
Eardrum?
Sorry, but that's what he would say before he started.
everyone was telling me how good it was before then, and I arrived and went straight back.
Yeah,
to bed.
yeah, I know. It was pretty cool, different. We actually had Tanya Kay, who's in the first video, do it right before we went on. I go, we got to come up with something really cool as our intro. It's got to be different than anybody else has done. She comes out dressed like a mechanic, strips that off. She's got a metal bikini on, and takes a metal grinder just right into her crotch, and these flames, and sparks go shooting everywhere. And then boom, the band came on.
Yeah,
So it was pretty exciting. Everybody's like,
exciting.
mouth is open, going, oh my God, and then there
What
we
is
were.
happening?
Yeah, it was pretty intense. Yeah.
It was great.
Metal Crotch. That's gonna be the name of my next band.
Yeah,
Right?
metal
Crotch for life.
Hey, I've got photos that you could use for the cover.
That'd be cool.
Just
Done.
big sparks coming. Yeah.
Another Hollywood blockbuster deal done
Right,
here at
there
Neo
it
Hotel
is.
There you
Studio.
go.
Yeah, the first time that I saw the artwork for it was at NAMM.
Oh, yeah.
Stuart came and gave me a poster for it, and I was like, "Wow, this is going to be something." I couldn't wait to hear it. So I'm so happy that it's done and out, and everybody can hear it now.
Thanks. Yeah, I think one of the things is we're really blessed to have Joe Retta singing, who I would put on the stage toe to toe with Paul Rogers, Robert Plant, anybody. He's that good.
Yeah, he
and
is
I've worked with some great singers, but he's amazing, hands down, like one of the best anywhere.
Right, and to keep up with the two of you, it's,
Yeah,
it's pretty.
We've been
hard to
kicking
do.
around for a while.
As everybody knows about me, I'm a very, very honest person. So if you ask my opinion,
I
you
know.
get it, which Chuck knows
Yes, I
in
do.
detail. But last night, I got to go see you play. It was kind of an impromptu jam night.
Yeah, a bunch of friend musicians
yeah.
come down every week on Mondays at Lucy's 51 and sit in. We have guys from Pantera and Guns N' Roses, Kiss, different guy, a singer that's been with the Rolling Stones for 25 years came down, sang
Yeah.
last night. And it's just a blast. You don't know what's going to happen. We're up there going, how does that song go? And okay, let's go. And we do it,
And these are the best jams
Yeah,
ever.
Brian Tishy who's
Yeah.
with Whitesnake is one of the best drummers
Yeah,
anywhere.
it's amazing.
Anywhere.
And the
Anywhere.
loudest drummers I've ever played next
Yeah.
to.
Yeah. And after it was
Yeah. between
between that scream and his drumming last night, I'm completely deaf.
Yeah, my ears are ringing so loud. I'm telling you.
But Stuart
Yeah.
got up and,
Yeah.
you were doing some Deep Purple that was just, my jaw was on the floor. And I knew you were good, but just,
Yeah, well, he was mentored by Richie Blackmore, so he better do those songs good.
Yeah, the funny thing is I know stuff by AC/DC, Free, the Eagles, tons of stuff. But every time I get up, they go, "Oh, let's do some Deep Purple with you." I'm like,
Yeah, because that's his wheelhouse, so to speak.
right. Yeah,
it was
that's
fun.
true.
I had a lot of fun, and I got to play with Brian Tishy, which I've always wanted to do. I love that guy.
Yeah, he's amazing.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what we're gonna do. Let's hear another song. And do you guys want to stick around for one more segment, or?
Sure.
Right.
You gonna put on the air conditioning? No.
We'll try to get you some more booze. How about that?
I haven't had any yet.
Oh, no, that's right. Well, you know what,
Pass that
Stuart? We
champagne around. So greedy.
well, we all took a vote, and we're like, someone has to be sober. It might as well be Stuart. That's kind of the way it works. Sorry to.
I'm still from last night.
I don't know who picks out the cast for your guys' video, but
The director.
smart director. That girl, I think she was in your other video too.
Yeah.
Who is she? Is she single? Tell me more.
Angelina Vital is her name. She's on Facebook. Very beautiful girl, and she is actually single at the moment.
Fantastic. Do you know her? Do you think you can hook me up with her? Or?
No, not a hope.
No, you can. You can. Why not? Am I not her type?
Get in line, man. It's like,
Yeah.
yeah.
We have them, the characters, the couple, throughout the videos. It's a story through time. they can never get together. Whenever they're close to getting together, she just turns to dust.
Yeah.
It's that can
Like
happen.
life.
It can.
Yeah, like life. You get what you really want, and it's poof, it's gone.
In the first video, he doesn't have any money, so she dumps him.
Yeah.
Which is
Right, so no money, no love.
pretty standard there.
Yeah, she succumbs to the money pit, so to speak, and gets all the money just lands on her and suffocates her.
Yeah, I actually wanted to have like CGI where the money actually sort of tore her to shreds, but we got nixed on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why?
She
That
just
would
gets
be
suffocated.
fantastic.
Well,
I
it
know,
costs a
wouldn't
lot
it?
of money.
Yeah.
Speaking of
Costs a
money,
lot of money.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
CGI
we
and all
just
of that.
smothered
is-
her in it.
We actually, in that live show that you saw at the end of the song, I had Joe. We made up a bunch of counterfeit $100 bills, and he just stacks and just threw them out. And everybody like,
Well, he actually forgot.
no, I reminded him. He forgot to do it, but I reminded him. Throw the money. He went, oh yeah. Throws it out, and people are just like, oh my god. Oh shoot, it's not real.
Yeah. It's so disappointing when you do that.
Yeah, well,
You know.
it was exciting for a second when they thought they were all
Yeah.
getting
Right.
thousands
You
of
can-
dollars.
you
So
can see
it's
what people
$25,000 in hundreds thrown out to the crowd.
They're knocking over
But yeah,
children.
that video is
Stampeding.
it was a really cool experience. We went down to the there's a castle
Expansion.
mansion actually in Malibu that was used for it, and we went down and watched them shoot,
Which is freezing.
which had nothing to do with women being half naked walking around, but we were down there.
With,
you know.
with the girl with the fire on her
Oh,
tits.
Tanya K. That's the one that used. That's the one that we had perform
She couldn't
before
do the
us.
fire in the Fonda because of the fire risk. So.
Yeah, we were going to do the fire, but we did the sparks
But
instead.
yeah, with Fuchs Mansion, it's beautiful. If you at Gladstone's on the PCH, you look up, it's that big mansion there, the big brown mansion, and
I always thought it was the Getty
yeah.
my whole life, and then finally,
And they rented that.
The
and,
Getty's falling down. Did you know that?
no.
It is. It is. It's
Well, maybe
falling.
that's because we did our video next to it.
but it
We
was-
shook the.
Yeah, but it was freezing.
foundation.
It was. Was it November we shot it in or something?
It was pretty damn cold, and
Yeah, girls are walking around half naked, and I was like,
That's
You're
a-
just mean.
That's a nice
You're just
problem
mean.
to
That's-
have.
well, there was no
Yeah.
heating in the
Well,
place.
you
That's the
know.
thing.
That's the way
we had
they.
what was
There
she?
was no
intended
heating.
it.
Playmate of the year was that girl? That one girl, the bunny suit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, it was a tough day. It was hard.
Yeah.
It was a
And
hard
then the
day.
next day was a green screen, and then it was a day.
Hey, he just said.
Aw,
You just
man.
gave it away.
Well, they
No,
were
we didn't do any
shattered.
green screen.
No, the next day was a studio.
Okay.
Then the following day was
Damn.
off, and then the final day was in Griffiths Park, where you saw where it's going. He's the white charger through the forest and everything, and the mist and that. That is for real. And it was the day was perfect because the mist was really there. But
I brought my coconuts.
Chuck and I, he got a pair of like rocks and started running past me going. I filmed it, put it on Facebook. So
Yeah.
we ran out of money. We couldn't afford the horses, so we,
Yeah, that was fun. I got to repost that. Actually, it's been a long time.
yeah.
Anyway,
Now, when you guys got here, I noticed that you guys brought a present for Max, but of course you guys didn't bring me a present.
I didn't.
What the hell, Max?
Well, it looks much better on me.
Right? She has on right now. Is this the official Heaven and Earth medallion?
This is the girl version.
Oh, there's a girl and guy version.
Well, the guy wants a bigger
Yeah, as they should be. Right?
Yes, you can get that online,
on the website.
heavenearthband.com.
Yeah, what I found really interesting was, it's the H and the E, and then is that a serpent that's
Yeah.
interlocked?
Indeed it is.
Why the serpent?
You want to talk about that? That's actually the designer's idea. I guess
yeah.
rock and roll serpent.
It's very rock and roll.
There's probably some hidden meaning there.
I don't know.
Like some.
Well, the Adam and Eve,
Hieroglyphic.
the
Yeah.
heaven and earth.
It looks.
Yeah.
So that's,
Yeah,
that's
maybe.
what comes to
Wow, that's what we're going to use from now on.
That's it.
That's awesome. Zach. Thank you.
mind. You're welcome. I'll take credit later.
And next time I'm asked about that, I have a good answer.
Done. You heard it here on the Tortoise and Hare Experience,
We
right?
did. You know,
We are.
all things
We're
happen here.
experiencing.
You
Yeah.
are experiencing.
Now-
Now, let's talk about your experiences for a minute. Chuck, you have played with so many bands. It's
Bands and individuals. Yeah.
band and individuals.
Uh-huh.
What was your very, very first band?
My very first band.
Can you even remember?
Speaking of snakes, it was called Black Snake, and I actually at the time was in military school on my 9th year, second in command of the battalion, going to go to the Air Force Academy, and my neighborhood got some guys that were older than I was 15, almost 15, and they were 16, 17, and I was big for my age, so they said, "You play guitar, right?" And because I had taken guitar lessons, and I said, "Yeah." They go, "Do you think you could play bass?" And I go, "Bass? Isn't that like 4 strings?" And they said, "Yeah, see if you can get a bass, and then you can be in the band." I go, "Okay." I asked my mom; she got me a bass. I did my first. I picked it up. It just came to me. It was like cake. And my first gig was at a UCLA fraternity party. I made $75. I drank beer, and the girls thought I was cute. And they're like across my flat top going like this. And I went, "All right." I went back to my mom, and I said, I think I want to do rock and roll instead of military school. She supported it. And one of the best days of my life was giving her a platinum record with her name on it.
Oh.
Yeah.
From that band, from that.
Not from that band. No. No, that was my first album. My first album was the Mental Health Quiet Riot album that went number 1, the first metal record to go number 1, and I was able to give her, a plaque with her name on it from that.
Cool. Did you buy her a house or anything?
Actually, I didn't get anything from that album. Really, I was promised things and it didn't happen.
Was it because of a contractual thing?
Yeah, it's a pretty convoluted story, but yeah, it had to do with me being naive and not realizing when someone says, "Yeah, you'll get 2 points," that it's not written down, that it doesn't mean anything. So,
So there you go, everyone listening. Make sure everything that you say.
Get it in writing in this business.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Even when you think you've got it covered, you get ripped off, which has happened to me too a few times. So
It's true.
it just Anyway, so that's if you wanted to know. Yeah. And then from then I've done almost 90 albums. Worked with Alice Cooper, for instance, Ted Nugent, Greg Allman, a bunch of different people throughout my career.
Right.
And I ran into Stuart. Actually, he called me up out of the blue in 1993, and I was in a really bad spot at that time, having just lost my mom, my fiance, my car, and my manager just ripped me off, speaking of getting ripped off for the money I was going to get from my publishing. He called me up out of the blue and said, "Hey, I heard you're great. You want to come up to Lake Tahoe," which I've been thinking about, strangely enough, to start recording. And I went up there, and we skied 15 days out of the 21 we were there recording. But it was great, and that's when we first hooked up.
Yeah, well, we rented Donna Summer's old mansion up there on Heavenly, and brought a mobile unit in. And we get up in the morning and go skiing, come back in the afternoon, shower, play for a while, and then go to the casino at night and gamble. And there was this one machine that I had incredible luck. I'd win about $600 a night. So the whole band was gathered around me. And if I won, I'd pay for everyone's ski lift tickets.
That's why we were skiing all the time.
That's why we were skiing, because I was winning like ridiculous amounts of money on this thing every night.
Until they threw you out.
Yeah, they did.
They said, "You're
rigged.
out."
Yeah.
That sounds rigged to me.
Yeah.
Maybe they just wanted you to keep you in town. I don't know.
It was a lot of fun, that album.
Anyway, so we go back to 20 years now. I played on the first.
Played on all the Heaven and Earth albums. Somewhere.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, and the first one I did a lot.
See, he's played so much that he can't remember what he's played on.
That's what's going to happen.
You know what? That happens on the road. People go, "Hey, I loved you on." I go, "I did what?"
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, that's right. Because they'll show up. The fans will show up with the record to get signed, and you forgot you did it sometimes.
You're like, "Oh yeah."
Right.
Yeah.
Very nice.
That's true.
Now, it is like how we said earlier, me and Max's 1-year anniversary of being an on-air team, and you guys have been now 20 years.
Well, friends for 20 years.
Right.
Yeah.
And then see, it was real weird because me and Max weren't really friends at all.
I hated him. I couldn't stand him.
Of course you did. Of course you did. Everyone does. No. No, we kind of knew each other, but we didn't. But then Max, comes up to me and asks me, if I'm interested in doing a project or something like that. So I was just like, yeah, let's do it. Screw it. What's the worst that can happen? And she comes in and she, starts becoming the producer and getting she has a good ear for music. So that's what I responded to the most. I was like, okay, you got a good ear for music. Oh, you can get that band? Okay, let's get them in. And it's been that I think has been keeping us going, is just how you find these bands and how you're able to bring them in. And not only that, but she finds bands that are genuine. Like, you guys are genuine. You guys come in and you guys are willing to share stories of either how you got ripped off or just kind of whatever. And I really like that, and how do you do that, Max? Do you just look at them and you talk to them, and after a while you're like, okay, I like your music, but can you be a genuine person?
Well, I wouldn't have anybody on the show that wasn't genuine. First off, I don't like to associate myself with people who aren't just real, and aren't telling the truth.
better
And
go.
no, and usually I have my friends on. I've been in the music business, my entire life.
Yeah.
My whole family is. So I have a lot of contacts in that, and I've either, like Chuck and I have known each other forever in
Yeah,
the
a long
day,
time.
and so that's usually the way it happens. It's I've either worked with them or friendships down the road, and all come together.
And then how does she approach you about doing the experience? Because it truly is an experience.
She said she had incriminating videos of us, and if we didn't come on it, she'd make them public.
That's my max.
She's a
Well, you
temptress.
have
That's
you
all
have
there is
do
to it.
things. Yeah, Sammy Phillips knows these things.
Yeah,
She does.
We'll get to her in a couple minutes. Don't
Yeah.
you worry.
Sammy.
Oh, yes, we will.
Do you guys know Sammy Phillips?
Now we do.
Well, everybody should know Sammy Phillips.
Okay.
Brilliant woman.
Amazing entrepreneur. There's so many. She's just an amazing person.
I guess we'll find out
You
soon.
you will. I hope you guys stick around and catch her on. She's, can't wait. Why don't we just cut to her, guys? It's been fun. No, I'm just kidding.
No, hey, she's much better looking. Come on.
Way better. Way better looking. But Lassie, any advice you can give us now that we've reached our 1 year anniversary?
Air conditioning.
Okay. As you know, air conditioning in a recording studio.
I know you
sucks.
can't make the noise.
You
I know.
can't.
I'm just playing with you.
Can't.
Yeah, it's rough, but we so appreciate where we're at.
Well,
We're at NoHo 2 Studios
yeah, it's
in
great.
Burbank, on Burbank in North Hollywood, and we thank
Does that stand for
Mark
no
Doty for
hose?
that.
Yes. No.
Yeah,
Just
no.
keep what you're doing,
There are
keeping
no
it real.
hosts.
That's a good thing. Just keep doing that.
Cool.
Yeah.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Okay, guys. Thank you so much for coming on. The band is Heaven and Earth. Oh, before I forget, you can get that medallion, which is really cool, and I hopefully everybody's that's seeing it, and it's featured all along your guys' music video too.
Yeah, it's floating in space. It's floating everywhere.
Yeah, so highly
It's like
recommend.
the obelisk in 2000.
It's the only thing left when she disappears is that.
It's like the obelisk
Yeah,
in 2010.
2000,
It just
yeah.
keeps coming back.
That's right.
So make sure to check out the band. You guys are going to be touring, I'm sure, and you guys have your album out now, which is Dig. Go to heavenandearthband.com for dates. And like I said, on the show notes, I'll have links to your Twitter, your Facebook, and I'm actually going to post 2 of those videos, and I'm going to post the uncensored ones because
Please.
that's all I was. It was like, okay, do I pick the censored or the uncensored? Boom,
Yeah.
right away.
And we got some live video footage from the Fonda as well, which I was very pleased with. At first, I wasn't sure about the sound recordings, but they worked on it and beefed it up, and thought, yeah, it's,
Nice.
Yeah, that you can see those on our website as well.